Okay, so we really need to pause for a second here and just uh, absorb this reality. An AI model, well, it recently worked autonomously for 30 hours straight. Beat. And we're not talking about a small script or, a quick fix. This thing was building entire software applications, setting up databases, handling the back-end stuff, and even passed its own security audits, required ones. This isn't really just a tool anymore, is it? It feels like the new baseline for uh, AI engineering capabilities.
Yeah, welcome to the deep dive. We are pulling straight from the latest stack of AI breakthroughs and platform updates. And honestly, the speed of change right now, it's almost overwhelming. So our mission today is basically to filter all that noise. We want to deliver like the three most critical shifts happening right now, the ones that fundamentally change how you approach your work, maybe your investment decisions, even how you think about creativity.
Right. So our roadmap. First, we're going to unpack the technical stuff behind Anthropic's new staff engineer model.
Yeah.
Then we'll look at how Microsoft is bringing this idea of vibe working, just talking to the system, into pretty much every Office app you use. And finally, we'll dive into some specific AI prompting strategies for hopefully better, faster financial analysis. We know you need the clear insights, without getting buried in information. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's kick off with segment one, the autonomous staff engineer, Claude Sonnet 4.5. The jump here is just staggering, both in what it can do and for how long.
I mentioned it briefly, but yeah, this is the breakthrough model. Sonnet 4.5 feels like the most colleague-like model we've seen so far.
It's a real shift, isn't it? From using a static tool for one-off tasks to, well, engaging with something that feels like an active partner. And what's really fascinating here, and this kind of speaks to the core technical challenge, is that jump in endurance. Sonnet 4.5 performed autonomous coding for up to 30 hours. Now, just to give some context, its predecessor, Opus 4.1, it only managed about 7 hours of sustained, unsupervised work. So going from 7 hours to 30 in, just a couple of months, that's not linear progress. That's serious acceleration.
An incredible acceleration, yeah. But I think the real nugget here is why that duration matters so much. It's not just about running code for longer, right? It means the model is actually overcoming memory limits. It's keeping track of complex stuff across many steps. And it's preventing what people call prompt drift. Where the AI kind of loses focus on the original big goal over time. 30 hours implies sustained complex memory management. That's huge.
Exactly. And get this, in one test run, it generated over 11,000 lines of code. It handled really complex end-to-end engineering tasks, building full apps, setting up databases, even buying domain names like the whole product lifecycle. And companies, big ones like Canva and Cursor, they're already starting to rely on it for deep research and complicated hiring workflows.
Okay, so if this model is working that long and doing that kind of complex work, operating like a junior or maybe even a staff engineer, start wondering about the cost, sure, but also the failure rate. Did it really work for 30 hours straight, or was someone constantly nudging it back on track? Because if the AI is truly passing its own security audits, where does the human oversight actually start? What's left?
That really hits the critical question, doesn't it? The data seems to suggest pretty minimal intervention was needed, and that's kind of the whole point. This level of autonomy means the human engineer's role, well, it fundamentally changes. You're not primarily the coder anymore. You're becoming more the validation expert, the auditor. Your job shifts maybe from creation to error management and oversight.
So the new skill is agent management.
Yeah.
Learning how to manage these AI agents.
Precisely, yeah. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's transition to another major platform update that really embodies this idea of the AI colleague, Microsoft's new Agent Mode and Office Agent, both inside 365 Copilot.
Ah, right. This is Microsoft bringing that vibe working idea, that really casual, almost conversational way of guiding things into the messy complexity of Excel and Word. The idea is you can just talk to the system, guide it casually, without needing complex commands.
That is the core concept, yeah. You might not need to know the exact function for a pivot table anymore. You just tell it what you need the data to actually show. We should look at the specifics, though, because there are two distinct agents here.
Okay, so what's the practical difference between them? How do they work?
Well, first, you've got Agent Mode. This works inside the Office apps themselves, like Excel and Word, with PowerPoint coming soon, apparently. This lets you do continuous iterative refinement right there in the document. Think of it like this. You prompt Copilot. It spits out an initial draft of, say, a sales report. Then you tell it, okay, bump this chart's projection up by 10% and change the font to Arial. It's all contextual guidance.
Okay, so it's kind of like having a really smart intern sitting right there next to your spreadsheet, basically, ready to take notes and make changes instantly.
Exactly, a very capable intern. Then there's the Office agent. This is built into the main Copilot chat interface, and this one's focused specifically on, let's call it single-shot generation, generating polished documents or presentations straight from a simple chat prompt. You might say, generate a 5-slide presentation on our Q3 marketing strategy, and boom, the output is instantly formatted, looks professional. Early benchmarks are showing something like 57.2% accuracy on complex multi-step tasks like these.
57% accuracy. It sounds low maybe at first glance, but for really complex multi-step stuff, that's actually, well, it's a pretty strong starting point. I have to admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. When guiding these large models through complex creative work that takes multiple steps. It's tricky. It really is tricky to keep the system focused, especially if you're building out a long document.
Yeah, and the accuracy gap, that 40-something percent where it might miss the mark, that's where human review is still absolutely essential. But the goal is pretty clear. Automate the creation of polished documents from simple chat prompts, which leads to the question, right, does this mean we can realistically stop building those complex Excel models and, detailed Word reports entirely by hand soon?
The answer seems to be leaning towards yes, doesn't it? At least the grunt work, the initial heavy lifting of document creation, looks like it's rapidly being automated.
Okay, so let's talk about using this agent power in maybe more high-stakes fields. Segment 3 is all about using advanced AI prompts for smarter financial decisions.
Right. We're seeing new resources pop up, offering what they call a practical playbook of advanced AI prompts. These are designed specifically for smarter stock and crypto investing analysis. And just to be clear, this isn't about getting hot stock tips. It's really about automating the deep analysis part.
Yeah, the benefit here is potentially huge because AI can drastically cut down the time you spend on fundamental research. Hours and hours of reading filings. This playbook apparently shows how to use a specific AI to get clear, almost analyst-level answers in, like, minutes a day. It's the kind of deep dive analysis that, Wall Street firms spend thousands of human hours generating.
Okay, but how specific are these prompts? Are we just asking the AI, like, hey, is Apple a good buy right now?
Yeah.
Oh, not at all. No, no. We're talking about prompts that target really specific, often difficult to analyze sections of a company's public filings. For instance, you might prompt the AI to analyze the risk factors section in the last 2 quarters' 10K filings for company X, and synthesize a summary of potential legal exposures, or maybe conduct sentiment analysis on management's discussion of the hiring outlook in the last 3 earnings call transcripts. Very specific data extraction.
Got it. So you're leveraging the AI as a kind of research accelerator, like stacking Lego blocks of data much faster than a human could alone. But this is finance, right? High-stakes territory. Is this kind of prompt-based analysis really secure enough or reliable enough for making truly serious investing decisions? I mean, we're talking about real money here.
And that confidence level, that's still the key bottleneck, absolutely. AI offers incredibly faster research and synthesis, no doubt, but it absolutely positively requires human review. For context, for confidence checks, for cross-checking against other sources before any serious capital decision is made. Think of it as a powerful co-pilot, definitely. But you are still a pilot in command.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on to our final section then. A sort of rapid-fire roundup of global quick hits and market shifts that just show the pace of all this.
Right, let's do it. First up, a major creative breakthrough out of China. Tencent just dropped Hunyuan Image 3.0. Now, this is a free image model that seems to exhibit pretty sophisticated reasoning. It can handle very long, complex prompts. And this is the really interesting part. It can apparently draw clean, legible text inside the images it generates.
Wait, why is drawing clean text inside an image such a big deal for these AI models? What's the challenge there?
Well, it's because these diffusion models, the tech behind most image generators, they inherently treat text kind of like visual noise when they build an image. They see the shapes of letters, sure, but not the actual coherence, the meaning. So text usually comes out looking like garbled nonsense. Hunyuan Image 3.0 actually solving that. It suggests a pretty significant leap in its understanding of semantic meaning, not just pixels.
Okay, that is interesting. And here's something that really caught my eye. OpenAI is reportedly prepping a standalone social app, kind of like TikTok in style, but powered entirely by Sora 2. Everything in the feed would be AI-generated video. Whoa! I mean, just imagine scaling a fully AI-generated video feed to potentially 1 billion daily views. That's a moment of real wonder, and maybe some disruption too.
Exactly. That potential for pure, targeted, synthetic, viral content. That's what we're talking about when we discuss these new market shifts and consumption patterns. Okay, also on the policy and platform front, several quick updates. California Governor Newsom just signed that landmark AI safety bill, SB 53, into law. So that's official. ChatGPT has new parental controls rolling out basically immediately to all users. And internally, word is Apple is heavily testing its own internal model. It's referred to internally as Veritas or sometimes Apple GPT. So they're definitely in the game.
And for tool access, it's worth mentioning App 20X again. It's a platform that lets basically anyone access open source alternative models and customize them using AI prompts. It kind of eliminates those technical hurdles that keep most non-developers from using models outside the big players like OpenAI or Google.
Yeah, and if we connect this back to that Sora 2 social feed idea, the implication for just human content consumption is massive, isn't it? We could be moving from consuming mainly human-created content to interacting with purely manufactured, maybe hyper-personalized synthetic realities. Does that change everything?
It feels like it could. Okay, let's try to unpack this one last time. Recap the big idea. The biggest takeaway from our deep dive today, I think, is the sheer velocity, but maybe more importantly, the direction of this change. We seem to be firmly moving past the era of just simple AI tools, the basic chatbots, and really entering the age of autonomous agents. These are AIs capable of sustained, complex work, often without needing constant human hand-holding, whether that's coding an app for 30 hours or generating a complex financial report from a prompt.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really encourage you, the listener, to maybe start testing Anthropic's new approach if you can, or try one of those new free image models we mentioned, just to get a feel for the power of this kind of autonomy firsthand. It's different. But here's the final, maybe provocative thought we want to leave you with. If Claude Sonnet 4.5 can genuinely work autonomously for 30 hours straight and operate effectively like a staff engineer, what is the new competitive advantage for a human working a standard 40-hour week? What does being human actually bring to the table now that an agent can't replicate or won't be able to soon?
That's definitely something to think about. We'll be pondering that one too. Thanks for diving deep with us today.